Welcome back. It's Time Warner Cable's Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. Our guest today is Bernard Parks, member of the Los Angeles City Council. And sir, as you probably remember, the mayor of New York, Michael Bloomberg, recently supported a law that would have banned big gulps, those great big drinks that are sold at various convenience stores. A court struck down his attempt to ban big gulps. In the background of that, you're concerned not so much with a ban, but looking at energy drinks specifically and whether the city can address the question of its strength.
Well, a couple of things. I think that we've monitored this for a while. There's some evaluations going on to where people believe that, particularly with one brand of energy drinks, there's maybe deaths associated with
Really?
it. And then just recently, Senator Durbin from Illinois actually wrote a letter to the FDA saying you must put some limitations. You put a 0.02 caffeine max on recreational drinks. You have to do something on energy drinks. I view it as almost as what we've done 20 years ago where people were concerned about amphetamines and truck drivers. You have a lot of people drinking these drinks in place of food and rest. And if you're dealing with basically law enforcement, critical situations, you're dealing with high impact type of tools. Those are all kinds of things that you need to be concerned with. And if we can limit access to felt pens because of graffiti, should we have the ability to put these drinks in a place to where only a certain age or only certain identified people can buy them?
Well, can a city pass a law with regard to limiting consumption of a food or a beverage?
Well, what we're looking at is that the issue is limiting access just as we've done with felt pens. And saying,
Right now in the city of Los Angeles, we can limit the access to those felt pens, not for sniffing purposes, but for graffiti purposes.
Graffiti, and you put them behind the counter. They have to be sold by a certain, they can't be accessed immediately. So these are things that the city can do in order to protect some of its employees or as citizens.
Right.
But I think it's even a greater concern about your employees. What do you do if you have an officer involved in a shooting and you find out they've been living on energy drinks the last 4 or 5 days because they're working part-time jobs and a variety of other things? I think there's some health issues that have not been clearly identified. And there's one particular drink that it seems to be at the focus of most of this research.
What about the question, not so much of sales, but of marketing? Because I remember a few years ago I saw a billboard and it said, whatever the name of the energy drink was, double the caffeine, double the sugar. And I thought it was a joke. No. Who would want to buy double the caffeine, double the sugar? But it wasn't. This is a bona fide marketing tool.
And you also see that recently, as these stories have come out about the issue of the impact of energy drinks, all of a sudden now many of the ads are saying no after effect, because you hear people saying when you drink them and you drink them over time, you have a down period. It's like coming down off of
cocaine or
anything else. And
be.
so these are the kind of things that I think are important. Is that these drinks have basically been thrust into the market. There's limited to no regulations on them.
But I do want to go back to the marketing question, because we know that billboards have been in the news a great deal about whether the city can regulate billboards. Yes. So can the city regulate marketing of a product?
Well, you know, one thing we've found in dealing with cigarettes, we regulate whether you can put cigarette advertisements on the doors of stores where they can be placed.
The city can?
That's right.
Interesting.
In the sense that that's part of the entitlements and the conditions when you open a certain type of store. That the issue, we just had a law passed in the state of California that cigarettes can't be sold during certain hours that school's available.
Right.
And so these are the kinds of things that you can do.
It is interesting to see what the city power is. Right. Okay, his name is Bernard Parks, member of the Los Angeles City Council. I'm Brad Pomerance. Thanks for watching Time Warner Cable's Local Edition.